Hi everyone, AJ with Seamless AI. I know it's been a while, but I want to make a couple videos for you guys today. Some things that have been happening, and I think that you guys could benefit a little bit from it. One of the things that I wanted to start off with, and this is just video one, is just this whole notion of the perfect way to close a deal. And I've been reading, some comments and articles on LinkedIn, and some people saying that cold calling is dead, and then other people saying emails are dead, and then other people saying that don't even think about calling people on their cell phones. It's so intrusive. And just from my own experience, and you guys can take this from with a great grain of salt. There is no perfect way to close a deal. That's just my opinion. I've been in sales for over 15 years. Some of you that have been connected with me for a while, you know my experience. I've done every kind of sales you can think of. I've sold payroll, I've sold office supplies, I've sold software and sales training and pound the pavement, door to door, inside sales, outside sales, a mixture of both. You name it, I've probably been in that role. So in my experience, I have noticed that, cold calling is not dead. Emailing is not dead. Cell phones are not dead. Texting is not dead. Video is not dead. It just comes down to your strategy, okay? I have called on C-level executives. I've called on CEOs of, multi-billion-dollar companies. I've gotten meetings with them by calling them on their cell phone. Some of them have been all communication through email. Some of them, the only communication that I have with them is just on LinkedIn. They won't return a phone call. They won't respond to an email, but they will chat with me on LinkedIn all day. Okay. And then some of them, call them up, and some of them actually do return a phone call. But again, one thing that I commented on another comment on LinkedIn, saying that it just comes down to your strategy. And a lot of people, what I find is they criticize a particular technique, or they criticize a certain thing, and it really comes down to not understanding it or not knowing how to do it the right way. Okay, that's really usually where criticism comes from, because I can tell you from a salesperson that's been in sales for a long time, cold calling is not dead. I have closed deals that are upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars just over the phone. I never met the person. I've closed deals over email, never met the person. Of course, I've closed deals in person. So you have to find the way, and this is something that I was telling somebody on a demo earlier this morning. It's about finding the client's preferred method of communication. That's what I found it to be really the key thing, and it really comes down to strategy. Yes, of course, if you are calling somebody and leaving the same voicemail, "Hey, John, this is AJ, just checking in. Wanted to see if you got my voicemail from, yesterday, or if you got my email." If you're doing the same thing, and you're leaving the same voicemail, or you're sending the same email with the same message, and you're not adding value and you're not building on that relationship, of course it's not going to work, okay? These decision makers, and I've said this before, are getting pounded daily, okay? You have to remember that as a salesperson if you don't know it already. They're getting pounded by vendors, by, and this isn't even having to deal with their own employees that they have to deal with, right? So you have to put yourself in their shoes. How strategic are you on that account? How dedicated are you to that account? Are you going above and beyond and doing some research on that company, on the person? Who are they? What do they do? What's their role? What are they responsible for? I even do research on, how many kids do they have? What do they like to do in their spare time? Are they a golfer? I send handwritten notes. If I obviously now with Seamless, it makes it a lot easier where I can do my research really quickly. I can go in there. I can have access to their cell phones. Yes, I do call people on their cell phones. People communicate on their smartphones nowadays, okay? And I need to find out what is your preferred method of communication. And I'm going to do it all. I'm going to email you. I'm going to call you. I'm going to leave a voicemail. I'm going to get your cell phone number from Seamless. I'm going to text you. And then until I find the way to get a hold of you and what your preferred method of communication is, then that's how I'm going to start communicating with you. But don't discount a preferred method or a method because somebody says that, oh, like cold calling is dead or emails are dead or don't even dare call somebody on their cell phone. You guys, I have gotten a hold of CEOs of, like I said, multi-billion-dollar corporations on their cell phones. And I have not gotten any pushback. I haven't gotten questioned. They were actually really surprised because most of the time when you call these C-level executives, they don't get mad at you. They're actually curious to find out, hey, how did you do that? Like, I kind of want my salespeople to be crafty and witty and creative and get into accounts just like you did. So I'm just sharing some pointers from my experience with you guys. Again, take it with a grain of salt. I hope this helps you out, but it's all about strategy, and it doesn't always just come down to the first call. Follow-up is huge. I've talked about follow-up a lot in my videos, okay? So how are you strategically following up? How are you building value in every single touch? Okay, how are you going above and beyond and sharing information? Again, service is senior to selling. Don't forget that. So it's not just the first call. It's not just the second call, but you got to be strategic. You got to have a plan. You got to be on a mission, and you got to have dedication to that account, right? Because creativity follows commitment. So if you're not committed to that account and it's just another call for you, you're not going to be successful, okay? So commit to it, learn about the account, learn about the people, get to know them. Again, it's about the relationship. Hope this helps out. Talk to you soon.